There's a popular Irish proverb that says, death leaves a heartache that no one can heal, but love leaves a memory that no one can steal. And there's also a popular Danish proverb that says, good men must die, but death cannot kill their names. And there's a proverb from the motherland Africa that says that if you're a good person, even after death, your grave is loved. Ladies and gentlemen, those proverbs would help us to understand the reason that we are here today, the reason for our gathering here, the fact that even after a year of his passing, the name Jamar Thelwell still resonates. It resonates because of the indelible mark that he left on all of us. His legacy unmatched, and the fruit of his labor, no doubt, inescapable. Hello everyone, my name is Rolando Smith, and it is my pleasure to walk you through the proceedings of this virtual memorial, and we do apologize for the late start. I'd also like to specially welcome the members of his family, those who have actually joined us from his family, and of course we continue to support them, and we continue to ask that we keep them in prayer. And I'll now invite final year student Kiefer Burke to lead us through the preliminaries of the invocation exercise. Over to you, Kiefer.
The scripture reading is taken from 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17 to 18. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Here endeth a portion of the word of God. And now, let us all observe a moment of silence for our beloved friend and colleague, Jamar Thelwell.
Remember, to reflect, and also to reminisce on the life and legacy of Jamar Thelwell, as we had alluded to earlier. And as you're going to be seeing in this next clip, even though his passing left quite a void in the Cat family, no doubt his infectious personality, his indomitable spirit actually lives on in our memory.
So 1 year has passed, and I have had to be playing some of the roles that Jamar would have been playing for the last 2 to 3 years within the Bachelor of Arts in Communication Arts and Technology program. And I can recall at one point in time having an event, and the audio was just not going right. And I whispered a prayer and I said, Jamar, where are you when we need you most? And suddenly everything started going well.
The past year has been a very sad one. It's hard to even express what the year has been like without Jamar. But one thing I can remember and will always remember is our lunch dates. So as a group, each month we would find a location, whether in Kingston or out of town, and we would just take a day off and go and just sit, have a good vibe and chat. But Jamar was my go-to person. He knew every location, every restaurant, every nice beach, every location that we could go to just have a good vibe. So for the past year, it has been a challenge because every time I'm supposed to plan one of these outings, it brings back the memories when I would have just called on Jamar and he would have just found the perfect location and we would just go out and have fun. Additionally, whenever we have the recordings, he would have been my audio person. And now it's very challenging because every time there is a challenge with the audio, I remember if only Jamar was here, he would have been able to fix it. So we've never forgotten about him. His memories will always be here with us. He will always be my friend, and I will always think of him in life rather than in death.
All right, so the poem is named
continue
after the
sleeping,
poem
my friend.
Straight
Jamar, Thelwell, the legend, JT.
and straight into
The first time I met Jamar was in 2019 in
Right.
July, and honestly I didn't know he was a lecturer because he was I can't say he's right. He was very genuine. He behaved like he had known me for a long time. How we relate to each other is like he's one of my brother. How we interact with each other. Lunchtime normally take us to buy food or come back and we get a little chit chat and stuff. He is truly missed. Sometimes in the office I'll just sit and he'll just come and either give me a hug or say, Dixney, alright, Danity, alright, just to make me laugh or something. He's truly missed. And he will forever be JT.
Jamar had a natural way with people. You saw it easily with his students, but he was the same with his colleagues. I remember receiving fruits every morning, a banana or whatever was in season. And I think that was largely because he was just a gentle, kind soul at heart. I really do miss him. I miss the classes, the sessions that we had together, both here at UTech and with JSFM Academy. Walk good, my friend. I really do miss you.
What has life been without you, Jamar? Not the same. Your creative spirit is well missed. Rest in peace.
Jamar, big up yourself, brother. I know we miss you, but somebody who's always there can count on. Good youth. What good, Jamar. Blessings.
Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A true void left in the BA-CAT family, and I have to echo the sentiments of all of my colleagues. A true void indeed, but the thing is that the void is actually filled with the happy memories that we have of him. And as such, we're going to be using that to segue to some other tributes at this time. So coming up now, we're going to be having a poem by the former head of school for Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Nova Gordon-Bell. And her poem is going to be followed by a tribute from his brother, Mr. Stedman Noble. And that will also be followed by a video montage.
A blessed interruption. Tribute to Jamar Thelwell. Jamar, you were a wonderful interruption. Nothing was ever the same again when you strode boldly and colorfully onto the stage of our lives. The mundane and the monotonous gave way to the color and creativity you brought into our world. You did not fit in, Jamar. Jamar, you could not fit in, Jamar. You stood out, transforming every interaction into an adventure and an encounter. An authentic soul that could not feign or pretend, could not be fake in any situation. a diamond in the roughness of life's daily constellation of challenges. You shone, you shine, you still shine so brightly. Yes, man, you're all right, man. Yes, man.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
On behalf of the family of Jamar Thelwell, I would like to say a big thank you to the University of Technology community, particularly the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, where Jamar would have spent his last years working. We are grateful and thankful to you for all the efforts that you have been making to keep Jamar's memory and his legacy alive. And we really appreciate it as a family. The last year has been particularly difficult for the entire family. It has been a challenge coming to terms with the fact that Jamar is no longer with us. It has been particularly difficult for his mom, Marcia, who still struggles with his passing. It has also been difficult for his dad, Jack, as well, and for all of us. Jamar's passing has left a gaping hole in all our hearts, and it's just difficult to fill. Nonetheless, we are thankful that we have been able to share in his life. And as his mom would always say, 34 years of life is something she would do all over again with Jamar. We were all very fond of Jamar. There was something about his confidence and daring yet very innocent approach to life, and that created a spark for all of us. We always wanted to be around him. This loss will be with us for a long time, but we give God thanks that through it all he has been with us, and we hold out the hope that one of these days we will see our son, our brother, our child again. It's tough, but we will get through. And actions like that of today at this memorial service reminds us that we are not alone. So thank you very much.
Expose your ideas and be creative. The little things make the real changes, which is kind of interesting because a lot of things that people think wouldn't make a change can make a change. So anything that you need to speak about, just speak about it. Or anything that you want to visualize, you just visualize it. And there'll be someone there to help you to do it if you can't do it. If you cannot do it yourself.
A beautiful tribute there that really speaks to capturing the essence of who Jamar was as a person, and more importantly, the legacy that he actually left here in the BA family. And you know, his legacy and his expertise in, you know, audio engineering doesn't only speak to what it is that he did here in the BA family, but his expertise was actually lent all over the place, and he was actually very instrumental in the productions that the JCDC, Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, had put on a yearly basis. And as such, we're actually happy to have a representative from the JCDC with us in the person of Mr. David Reed, and I'm going to be handing over to him at this time for him to give his tribute. Mr. Reed, go ahead, please. All right, we do apologize for that. We're not seeing Mr. Reed at this point in time. Of course, if he actually appears, we will actually hand over to him to give his tributes. But at this particular point in time, in the interim, I'm going to be opening the floor at this time for any tribute. So anybody who would like to actually share a word or two, we're going to be facilitating this at this particular point in time. And I'm just going to be asking you to just indicate if it is that you would like to share your tribute. And of course, I'm going to be asking our technical team to assist me with this to let me know which individual would have indicated his or her interest to share at this particular point in time. So is there anybody who would like to share a tribute? We're going to have an open tribute at this point in time. Okay. All right, so we're going to pause on the open tributes because Mr. Reed is actually here. So we're going to go to Mr. Reed, and then, of course, if it is that you would like to share something, we'll facilitate that shortly after. So, Mr. Reed.
Friends and former colleagues and told them the news. I planned or was involved in the planning for both the 9-night and the setup. I assisted in the planning of the Thanksgiving service, and I see intros here as well. And even took part reading on behalf of his bro, Dad, Robert, and myself. I even took part in the scattering of his ashes in West End, but somehow, even today, it still feels so unreal. And there's a feelings and that keep lingering on. Jamar is missed, and not just by me, but I'm sure by his former co-workers, his acquaintances, his students, his associates, his friends, and his families. And the pandemic hasn't helped it much because it creates an illusion. You know, based on the curfew and the no flying and the ton of your yard orders, Jamar, somehow we are believing that Jamar is somewhere. And at some point in time, he's going to reappear and show his face. Maybe it's because we want more, or we wanted more of him, his genuine love and compassion for people, his humble nature, his knowledge and intellect, and his ever reassuring vibes, good vibes, very good vibes. It has been a year. Last evening, Tenise, Jermaine, Robert, and I were at his house visiting his mom. And I know, I really know, I know physically he's not there. He hasn't been there for a year. But somehow deep within, I was hoping that he would have walked in the room and in his usual manner, saying, "Me good, man, me good. Me have it, man." It has been said that a man is not dead while his name is still spoken. That he only truly goes when he disappears from the memories of those who loved him. Many of the conversations I've had with his former co-workers, friends, and family members drift us towards making references to Mr. Thelwell. Let us feel no guilt in laughter. He knows how much we care. Feel no sorrow in smile that he is not here to share. We cannot grieve forever. He would not want us to do. He would not want us to. He would hope that we would carry on the way he always do. So talk about the good times and the way he showed he cared, the days that we spent together, all the happiness shared. Let's memories surround us. A word someone may say will suddenly recapture a time, an hour, a day that brings him back as clearly as though he was still here and fills us with the feeling that he's always near. For if we keep those moments, he will never be departed. He will never departed, and he will live forever locked safely in our heart. Rest well, Thelwell. We love you. We care for you. We miss you, but the Lord knows best. And so we have to rest assured that you are in his arms and you are gently looking down at us as we continue in your tradition. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. David Reed from the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC. And of course, Mr. Reed just shared that it's very important for us to talk about the good times and to share the memories. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing at this point in time. Of course, as I said earlier, we are going to be opening the floor for some tributes. And how we're going to be doing this, I'm just going to be asking you to utilize the raise hand feature. And I'm actually monitoring the participant section on Zoom right now. So if you use the raise hand feature, okay, I'm seeing Raven right. We're going to take Raven, and let's take Raven at this time. Go ahead, Raven. Over to you, Raven. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
A sad reason for us to all come together, but this is the true spirit of Jamar Thelwell, for us all coming together. Sorry. I have so many memories in the short span of time that I knew Jamar, and I'm also representing now for a lot of my friends who could not make it at this time, and I hope I represent them well. I had an experience last night, which was I shared with some of my friends. I was very sad coming up to Friday because, you know, the 1 year anniversary of the passing of somebody that was very close and dear to us. was resting heavy on my heart. And it has been a very difficult year with the pandemic and everything, but even losing him in a time like this. And for me, he was somebody that was always there for me and my friends, and somebody that we could always reach out to. Last night I was really sad because it was the eve of the anniversary of his passing, and I started crying. And I did not know of this gathering of his loved ones and associates and colleagues. And I was crying. I was there by myself in my room crying. And just as the first tear fell, I got the message that this was happening. And I took that as, you know, he's not here, but somehow, some way, he's still here for me, because he knew, or it is known, that I needed support and I needed to be around people who would understand what I was feeling. And when I needed it the most, in true Jamar fashion, something came to assist. And it was just the embodiment of what Jamar was, what Jamar stood for. And every day of my life since his passing, I've tried to embody that, to always be there for those that you can, and always offer a helping hand, even if it's just a listening ear, because he did that so well. Yeah, man, come over here, so I'll go on with you. Tell me. And he's always listening. He's always there in whatever capacity he needs to be there for you. And I still grieve, but I try not to grieve in a sad way. I try to celebrate Jamar and make him proud in whatever I have done. I've made a lot of leaps and bounds in my career in media and entertainment since his passing. And it was very sad for me to make these leaps and bounds, because every leap and bound I made while he was here, he was always there to answer the call, to hear what I was doing. So I remember one year I work in production sometimes, and I was on a shoot with a renowned Jamaican producer, two of them, and director. And I remember being on set, and I still have the text message to this day. And I sent it to him. It's like, I'm on set with these guys. And he's like, I am so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. And I have all of these saved. I have videos when we used to be in the Mac Lab. And Jamar has a very special type of love that he shared with everyone he came across and came in contact with. And he was the embodiment of, I had sent it in the text, in the chat earlier, I've never judged a book by its cover, because he's in his dashiki and his jeans and his Mickey Mouse Crocs, but there's always something you can learn from him. And I try to continue his legacy in with everything that he has taught, in whatever way I can. Every day since I've met him, and every day since he has passed. Even today, after 3, I reached out to a few classmates just to ensure that they knew this was going on. And if not, I would pass it on. There are people that I don't really speak to anymore, but it doesn't matter, because he touched everybody, and nobody should be excluded from celebrating his life in any way possible. He brought people together, and it's something I've always admired, and I will continue to admire for the rest of my life. And I will always try to embody what he represents moving forward, because I didn't know him for very long. I knew him for about 3 years, but in that short span of time, he became my best friend. He helped me through really hard times, and he was always a phone call away. I thank God every day for putting that angel on earth for us to interact with. And I always say that God puts special people on earth to serve a specific purpose. And sometimes he calls them back when their purpose has been served. And I believe Jamar is one of those very special people, because everybody I know that came in contact with always has something positive to say or share. in that very special Jamar way that he had to interact with everybody. So that's just my 2 cents. I'm sorry for the tears, I know, but I celebrate this person every day of my life. I actually have a charm bracelet with some charms that represent him. They're his Mickey Mouse charms because I know he loved his Mickey Mouse. And I just want to thank whoever put this on today for allowing us to come together as friends and colleagues of him to celebrate his life. Because even though we're grieving, it's still a celebration. And I pray for his mom and his family every day. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Raven. And of course, Raven, there is no need to apologize for the tears. We do appreciate the tribute that you have actually offered. And of course, I have been monitoring the chat segment also section, and I noticed that a lot of your colleagues have actually been echoing your sentiments. So I want to thank you so much for that, Raven, a former student here in the BACAT program, a graduate of the BACAT program, speaking to Jamar's helpful nature, his down-to-earth personality and characteristics, and also his legacy. Thank you so very much, Raven. And we're going to be going over to another former student. Her name is Melissa. Did I get that correctly? Melissa, I saw your hand up earlier. You can
Oh,
go ahead,
yes.
Melissa. All right, go
Yes,
ahead.
yes, yes. Blessings, everyone. So, good
Blessings.
afternoon.
Good
My
afternoon.
tribute is really short, but I met Jamar when I was at UTech, and I think it was, I forgot the class, but he was teaching us some logo design thing, and I remember, I had a really good logo, and he was very just open up with his feedback, and he was just down to earth. But one thing I do remember about him is just, and I put it in the chat, how authentic he is. And I remember during those times when I was in his class, a lot of persons didn't understand his teaching style, but that didn't bother it bothered him because that's just who he is and how he connects with his students. And he was just so supportive. He was there for everyone in every single way he could. And there were times when we had to submit some coursework, and he would come on the weekends like, who does that? And open the MacLab and just stay there with us. And he was just very um I wouldn't say raw child, but he was just himself. Like you could talk to him about anything. He was just open with his patois, and everybody could have a conversation and reason with him. And sometimes you just wonder like how he does it. And it's just beautiful. And even after after I graduated, he used to pass my yard gate quite a few times driving, I think, this gray van, and sometimes he said it's that chic, and he's just playing his music, and just his kind of vibe. And the last time I remember seeing him, we happened to take a taxi together, and he was just bubbly, always smiling as usual, and he was telling me about a project he was working on. And I can never forget that day, just that smile and it's that cheeky and just everything about him that day. So I'm really sad that he has left us in this earthly life, but I know that God has a plan for him and his purpose that he fulfilled his purpose on earth and he impacts so many lives. And that's why today we can have so much positive things to say about him because he was just that person that pour into others and make you feel understood or listened to when you needed that one person. So I'm very grateful to have met Jamar, and I love and respect him so much to this day. And I'm just happy that I was able to share something with him. So that's my tribute, guys.
Thank you very much, Melissa. And of course, that's Melissa Williams. She is also a former student here at the BACAT program, a graduate of our BACAT program, speaking about Jamar's teaching style and his authentic nature. And you know what? I'm sure all the students here today can actually note that he was a lecturer par excellence. His specialty was audio production. And if you're looking at the set here, you will see that we sort of tried our best to recreate the audio lab, of course, in memory of him and in specific tribute to him. And of course, even though he specialized in audio production, he was able to help the students with just about anything, because that was the guy that he was, the jack of all trades. And as such, we're going to be taking a look at this particular point in time at all of the different specializations and different areas and different programs offered here within our BA family.
BCAT taught me how to interface with a team. It taught me a lot of additional skills apart from video, which is my love. It opened my horizons for what's possible and gave me skills that I can always rely on.
They train you to be a well-rounded individual. It is something that I don't see a lot of programs with, and it's something that I've learned to appreciate, and I've become a better person career-wise because of it.
The BACAT program is rounded because it prepares students to not only be technically equipped, they have hands-on and practical knowledge. Students become more media conscious, as well as more culturally aware based on the nature of what is done in the program.
I always knew that I wanted to be a part of or be in media in some way or form, and I saw this based on what the course was offering as the perfect opportunity.
I'm a public relations officer. I could easily take a job as a journalist or as a photographer because BCAT does not focus on one skill.
Now the thing here at UTech is that in the BCAT program, we train students to operate not only in the traditional media but also in new media and to fuse them together. That is how the landscape has changed over the years, and that's how we are preparing students.
BCAT is an excellent program and I recommend everyone to come.
Applicants, just come to BCAT. You guys won't regret it. I don't regret anything. I'm having a great time, and if you guys are around the world or anywhere that you guys are, just come to BCAT.
So the good thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that the BACAT program has actually created an initiative to ensure that the legacy of Jamar actually lives on, And as such, I'm going to be inviting our current program director, Miss Marilyn Facey, at this time to give us some more details in that regard. Miss Facey?
Each year, students enroll in the Bachelor of Arts in Communication, Arts and Technology here at UTech Jamaica with a dream of learning the skills necessary to have a rewarding career in communications. For many, that dream is attainable based on the students' efforts, the expertise of our staff, and the support of family and friends. For others, however, it's an obstacle course. 4, 5, or even 6 years of financial gymnastics, a balance between how many courses can be taken based on what is earned through work and travel, working while studying, or promises made by family members. That dream, however, goes beyond the individual. Many of our students are the first in their families, and even for some, the first in their communities to attain a university education. The attrition rate in our program is largely due to students being unable to meet their financial obligations to the university. Our students are brilliant, eager to learn, and man, they are creative. They have the capacity to make a lasting impact on the media landscape. Many are already doing so, both locally and overseas. The cost of higher education is increasing. Pooled with limited funding from the state and a pandemic, it is an undeniable fact that our students are in need of additional financial support. Now, Jamar Jamar, he was always there for his students, both in and outside of the classroom. There are many examples, countless stories of Jamar offering advice, sharing life lessons, meals, or even personal funds to assist his students. He was seldom seen without a group of students nearby. He was always going beyond the class time, talking, sitting on the steps, or on the corridor with his students. He went above and beyond for them, even at times getting in trouble for breaking the rules. No, his illness that did not dull his innate desire to be of service to his students. He gave of his all, not just here at UTech, but outside in other creative fields, live events, culinary arts, etc. I taught along with Jamar during the M Academy JSIF program in the summer of 2019, and that training it targeted inner city students. He came early and he stayed late to ensure that his students mastered audio, video, stage, and lighting techniques. He, at the same time, assisted the BACAT final year students with their projects and their pitches up to December 2019, despite being visibly ill. He had to be there for his students. And Jamar, he was a natural giver. He was kind and considerate to the needs of others above his own. As such, I think it is fitting that the first BACAT scholarship be established in his name and honor, to honor the impact that he had on the program and especially his students. It is my pleasure to launch the Jamar Thelwell Memorial Scholarship with the support of his family. This one-year scholarship is valued at $300,000 and can be used towards tuition or accommodation. It is open to both incoming and current students in the Bachelor of Arts in Communication Arts and Technology who have, first, a clear financial need, and second, a strong academic record. As program director, I would like to take the lead in announcing my pledge of $100,000 per year for the next 4 years towards the scholarship. I take this time to invite other members of the university community, alumni, friends in the industry to join in donating to the scholarship. All contributions, large or small, are welcome. The account information will be displayed and shared at the end of this memorial. Remember to include the notation Jamar Thelwell Memorial Scholarship in your donations. Our aim ideally is to be able to offer multiple scholarships each year, so please donate. Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Join me in helping to make our students' dreams a reality. Thank you.
Very much, Madam Program Director, Ms. Marilyn Facey, and I'd just like to echo the sentiments of some of the persons who just posted in the chat, Tenise, Megan, and Washington, who are all excited about this initiative. And of course, I'm going to be handing over at this time to our acting president, Professor Colin Giles, our acting president, to endorse all that Ms. Facey just shared with us. So let's take Professor Giles' comments at this particular point in time.
It is my pleasure to endorse the Jamar Thelwell Scholarship, and I express sincere appreciation to his family for supporting and offering this initiative in his memory. We welcome the addition of this scholarship for the benefit of our students in need. It is indeed an appropriate way of honoring and keeping alive the memory of our colleague and friend who cared deeply about his students. The University of Technology Jamaica family was profoundly saddened at the passing of Mr. Thelwell on May 7, 2020. The legacy of excellence he left behind as a lecturer in the Bachelor of Arts in Communication Arts and Technology BACAT program in the Faculty of Education and Liberal Studies continues to be impactful. He was well known for his proficiency in digital media and production, audio and video production, which he freely shared with his students and others. His students and peers have always spoken fondly of his charismatic spirit, outstanding skills, and his creativity. Mr. Thelwell served the university in numerous ways and touched the lives of many persons in imparting his knowledge and skills in his areas of expertise. He found the time to be integral in the summer program at the Cynthia Shako Early Childhood Education and Daycare Center. And the university also benefited from his service as a consultant on internal and external audiovisual related matters. Mr. Thelwell is greatly missed. To the students of the BACAT program who will be beneficiaries of this scholarship, I urge you to give of your best efforts in continuing to honor the memory of the dedicated and talented educator for whom the scholarship is named. Honor his memory through your own dedication to excellence in your academic studies and in the professional undertaking of your roles as budding media practitioners of the highest integrity, values, and attitudes. May the memory, legacy, and example of the life of Jamar Thelwell continue to live on in our hearts.
An endorsement there from our acting president, Professor Colin Giles. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually coming to a close at this particular point in time. So yes, we continue to mourn and we continue to acknowledge the void that has actually been left in our family. But the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, is that we actually have hope. And it is the memory of Jamar that lives on in all of us that will enable us to continue to have this hope and to keep this hope alive. On behalf of all of us here in the BACAT family, the technical, the administrative, and the academic